Hello there, gang. DD DeVere here with another tank-flavoured past blast, in which we should be playing. I'm going to take a deep breath for this one. Iron Warriors T-72 Tank Commander. So nice and easy to remember that. So what do we get setting-wise? We get a few audio settings. Not a great amount, but they're there. Video is very limited. As is your realism, you have to set it all in a config file, and I've never got it above 1280 at 1024 as far as resolution goes at the moment either. And finally some controls, all fully rebindable, and all are sort of tabbed for this station, because this is of course not so much a tank game but an actual tank sim. In fact, I think this is the first simulation that I've featured on this channel. So what do we get? Well, this is network here. I think this is more a LAN setup. So if I search for game, it asks me for a direct address, which I don't have any. And nothing comes up in this sort of what looks like a server browser. Or it could just be that, because it's quite an old game, it's just not active anymore. So I can't really comment on the multiplayer side. You can host games and co-op, which apparently sounds good, because you can have up to 3 friends in the different stations in the tank. But there seems to be no in-game chat either for coordinating, so you'd need to have a third party there. So yes, it seems I'm coming at this again from a purely single player side. So game wise, you get your campaign, which is a total of 18 missions. You play while on Locked and X, etc. You get some single missions, which we'll have a look at very quickly in a minute. Cyclopedia, that's just some bump about the hardware and weapons platforms you'll meet in game. And finally user missions, because of course this does actually come with a full mission editor. So you can create as many missions as you like and play them from there. Or if you find any on the interwebs, you can add them to the game and play them. So single missions are a bit limited. Your first two are sort of tutorials, not very deep in all honesty. And then finally a few quick missions. 5 actual quick missions. So that's just going to quickly do is I'm going to jump into the driving to show you a bit of the basics of controlling the tank without people shooting at me. And luckily the load times in this game are pretty decent. So you start in your driver's seat. You can of course go to the gunner seat, and finally to a commander cupola, and finally I should say here you also have an AA machine gun. So let's just quickly zip back to the driver. Now first oddity, that's F5 to F8, or the tab key to skip through them. Why you couldn't use F1 to F4? No idea. So to start the tank, I have rebound my controls to make it a little bit more modern. So I to start the engine, then you need to apply some throttle, which I've got to W. Then select a gear up. In fact, I'll go straight to the second gear, because that's going to be your most used gear in the game, which I have on E. And finally release your mountain brake with B, and we're off. Then A and D just to steer. So the first thing that will strike you is that there's no way to actually look left or right directly. You're stuck with this forward facing view. At least with backspace you can toggle on and off your GUI elements, although you'll probably want to leave them on for obvious reasons, because it's the only way of seeing where all your tank is in relation is your compass, which you're going to need when your tank commander starts calling out enemy targets for you to engage. So yeah, that's a first oddity. And the second, if I go quickly to the gunner seat. Now from here I can actually command the tank still for driving. The AI now drives it, so by using 1 through to 0 you have different commands to make the tank drive and such like. If I make it turn left or right. So here's another annoyance. You can only move in 15 degree or turn in 15 degree increments. 10 would have been a lot better. Let's speed him up a little bit.
Faster.
So getting the AI to drive can sometimes be somewhat wacky. You do have a go to waypoint.
Move to waypoint.
It's not too bad at the moment because it's a fairly straight and flat area. Where's he going? He's going... yeah. AI driving can be somewhat fun and fantastic. So if you see at the moment, I have obviously the gun turret there. You can do things like change your illumination and on your gun sights. Here's another oddity. If I move my mouse around, nothing happens. If I want to move my gun turret with my mouse, I actually have to hold the left mouse button and then start tracking. If I just stop him for a moment, so you can see it better. Yeah, there's, to use the rangefinder, if I S to turn on, if you look at the bottom right there, the SUO, that's your targeting computer, and if you right click your laser designator, you'll see this more in combat. I'll probably describe it more better there, but yeah, some very kind of cumbersome systems. Oh, and bottom left there, you'll notice is your ammunition selector, B and N to switch through them. Your BPS is your armor piercing, OFS is your frag rounds, BKS is your high explosive rounds, UR are guided missiles, and finally that's your coaxial machine gun, which you have to press Q to fire. R to load a shell, which in this case will load a... Let's go back and load a arm piercing. It automatically loads everything for you, luckily. And it's spacebar to fire your main cannon. So yeah, lots of strange. There's also manual targeting, but I've never quite figured that out. You know, using the actual in-base rangefinders there. This with your mouse wheel, you can scroll in and out. There is a full manual of this that does its best to tell you these things, and has a bit on that. But you're going to want to spend a lot of time in that manual because, as you've seen so far, the controls are not the most smoothest and most obvious. Let's go to our command station. If you press B, you can actually lock the gun to your command station, and you can actually fire and control the gun from up here. Where's our chap going? Because he's not going to... Oh yes, because I just told him to go, which means drive in a straight line, literally, for I think it's 500 metres, and then it will stop and wait for your next command. So yeah, as you can see, that the AI is a little bit... Luckily you do have an external camera, so you can keep a track on things, because you're going to need it. It's very easy to get... There's no way to sort of unbutton that a lot of tank sims have to allow you to sort of pop out and have a first person view around your tank. There's none of that here. So although this is a sim, having that there, I don't mind that, because it sort of simulates the fact that you could unbutton in most other tank games do let you do that, and this one doesn't. So this is a quick look at the basics and the operating.
Move to hull down.
Oh, and one last thing. This is worth showing quickly before we dive into the properly. If I go back to the driver here, if I stop him for a second, press Control D. I'm going to start driving forward. This for 2006. This game was, yeah, it was released back in 2006. If you're wondering what's going on there, because it's now. It's got destructible terrain. That's a shovel blade. So that lets you dig little trenches for yourself to hide your tank in, if there's nowhere to get your tank sort of behind. So it was released in 2006, but it's got sort of quite deformable terrain. It's pretty advanced. So let's leave here and just try a quick combat mission, because you'll see one of the other big problems with this game. So single missions, let's try the engagement is the one. According to intelligence, Serbs have more than 10 armoured vehicles. Your task is to destroy the Serb armoured troop and not to allow them to break our defences. Your tank is a T-72, good, because that's one we want. You do get to drive a 3 tanks in this game you can play in. There's the T-80, the T-34-85, the T-55A and the T-72B. You have a tank platoon and an infantry squad. A group of Croat militia consisting of an infantry squad and a Leopard tank patrol are operating on my left flank. Alright, so let's play that. Right, so if I quickly switch to the tank commander here and have a look somewhere behind me, we should see our friendly forces somewhere around here. There's some of our infantry. Our infantry squad it mentioned. Because yes, there's infantry in this game. There's at least one of our friendly tanks. So the way you control platoons in this game, or friendly units that are allotted to you, you have to do it F11 from a map. And yeah, I'm not figuring out how to get them to move, really. If they do at least seem to mount. If I tell that, my infantry should actually mount my tank as long as I'm stationary. But one would assume you click movement, click location, maybe set his speed. Let's try formation, let's try line. F11, now let's tell my driver to go.
Go!
Let's see if these guys do anything this time. No, they're not doing anything yet. Let's just see if it's a stop-start, right? Nope. See, I've got... Yeah, the AI control in this game is pretty terrible. Let's try again. Let's try another waypoint. So obviously I know there's enemy stuff around here. Set them to fast. They're on open fire. Let's just change the view when you track your own tank.
Speed up.
Now, anyone going to do anything? Nope. Oh, my infantry didn't even get on board this time round. They're normally pretty good for that, so I haven't even got my infantry either. Is he going to go anything? Go anywhere? See, most tank games normally give you some sort of radio control or a radio to order your tanks, advance, form wedge, etc, etc. Unfortunately, this one doesn't. It tries to do it for this map system, and sometimes it might do something, often not what you want it to do, and other times it'll just sit there like it did there. So we're kind of on our own. Let's go. That's him. I'm going to switch to the gunner. See?
Slow down.
Nope, that was the wrong one.
Scan.
So I'll get the commander to start scanning. Hello, that looks like something over there. And something just, from the damage indicator up right, something just flashed. Okay, let's just
Stop.
Let's just try and take over manually. So yeah, AI in this is quite... let's turn on that. So tanks, we want our armour piercing, so let's hit R to load those. Let's right click once to take a rangefinder. Right click again. As soon as the light goes green, we should be able to shoot a shell at it.
Got you.
Oh, good hit, good hits. Well, this is a rarity. I'm normally dead by now in this mission, for obvious reasons. Normally the tank commander does call things out, but at the moment he doesn't seem to be seeing things.
Commander, target designation.
That was right. Let's see. Right click. Count roughly to 5. Right click again. Spacebar. Was that? No, I think it was a miss.
Commander, target designation.
Is that? No, that's the one we want, isn't it? There. So you're trying to track and keeping your right mouse button down. Oh, I didn't reload.
Commander, target designation.
That was my fault. I had my finger on the wrong key. Normally the commander spots these things fairly well. It's handy to have him calling out where he sees targets for you. shell up. Did we get him? I think we did. Alright, I think we did. Wow, this is going better than I expected.
Move to waypoint.
Oh, let's get him going. This is going to be more armour. I'm going to reload another armour piercing in advance. We do have some smoke discharges. Hang on, is that firing or is that wrecked?
Are you crazy? Slow down.
Uh-oh, something's been hit. Alright, we've lost something targeting wise. So now our AI is fairly tanking along. Even though we're in the middle of a battlefield with lots of enemies on.
See, scan. Scan.
I don't know why he's not scanning properly. I have no idea why he's not scanning. So this is one of the big problems. Is the AI can be wacky at times. See, I was holding that the left mouse button down in the tank commander, even though you don't need to. In a tank commander, you don't have to hold the left mouse button. In the gun turrets, you do. Okay, I don't know where they've all gone. Oh, we're off again. There's no way of changing your scale either, and your view level in this, in the commander's cupola. So it makes target identifying very hard. That's why I find it's best to either...
Slow down.
Well, I'm not rushing, that's the AI, it's not me. Court martial him. Quite where he's going, I've no idea. Oh, no, we've been hit. This isn't going very well. The AI can be quite a deadly shot when it wants to be. But yeah, that's why I find it's best to kind of... You're going to be busy in this game. I was going to say best to try and stay as the tank driver, but honestly you're going to be skipping between the two so often. So what's... Slow down.
Stop.
Right, are they the ones we hit earlier on, or are they my friendly tanks? I think they're the ones we shot earlier. Yeah, I think they're dead. Is that one looks like it's dead as well? I don't recall hitting two. We did say we had some leopards. That could be a leopard. See, this is the other problem. Target identifying. As most of the stuff you're fighting is also Russian T-34s, T-55s. That was aimed at me, wasn't it? Right, where did that come from? There. Let's try and get a range on him. Oh, I thought I'd reloaded. Oh, we're probably going to be dead now any second anyway. I meant to try and turn my tank towards the enemy, which is one of the controls you've got. So I think that's us brown bread. Yeah, AI and controlling things in this game can be frustrating. You are going to be switching between seats quite often, as you saw there. On relatively flat open areas, the AI is not too terrible. But as you saw, where the hell my squad were at, no idea. So yes, this is a bit of a tough one to call, because they've done quite a bit here in the way of, you know, shell and weapon ballistics, the armour penetration values, but things like trying to identify your enemy when you might be driving a Russian tank, and so is your enemy, and so are your friends. Very hard sometimes target identifying in this game. Sometimes it's marked clearly with a little coloured icons, sometimes it's not. I honestly don't quite understand whether it's a bug or an issue or what. It's just so many, the cumbersome interface, why you couldn't have just controlled your gun turret straight off with the mouse, or you can also control it with the keyboard obviously, but why you had to hold the left mouse button down for your gun turrets but not for your commander cupola, no idea. So yeah, the game has some frustrations, but it does offer a lot. You've got the mission editor to make plenty of missions. You've got the 18 mission campaign, which can be, as you've seen from here, just from these little quick missions, quite challenging. You're going to want to spend a lot of time going between the manual and driving around in the driving mission, just trying to get a feel and how to control your your tank and your systems. You've got all the different manual targeting. It's all the sites are properly done. So, you know, they've done a lot on the sim front. Just some wacky AI issues. Well, a lot of wacky AI issues in all honesty. Do somewhat hold it back. But, you know, from a game of 2006, it was developed by IDDC and Crazy House Software, which are Russian developers. And it was published by Battlefront and .com, and then somewhere along the line Strategy first got hold of it and renamed it to the game it is now. Originally it was Iron Warriors 272 Balkans on Fire, so an even snappier title, believe it or not. So anyway, gang, we'll conclude our dealings here. This was the Iron Warriors, etc, etc, etc I just mentioned. I'm not gonna keep saying that over and over again. It's gonna do my throat in. But I hope you found this video useful and entertaining in some way. It's, as far as Sims goes, it's not the greatest, but it's certainly a better tank-favoured Past Blast than Desert Thunder turned out to be, which was a pretty poor arcade shooter and not very good. This is a sim that has some nice edges to it, but a lot of rough ones as well. So anyway, gang, thanks very much for watching the video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. And I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.